The bird dog is an exercise widely used in rehabilitation and training to improve lumbo-pelvic stability and neuromuscular coordination. However, incorrect execution can lead to compensations and cause muscle imbalances that affect movement mechanics. In this regard, the synergy between the gluteus medius and the adductors in the supporting leg, for example, plays a key role in stabilizing the pelvis. If you want to ensure that your patients perform this exercise efficiently, surface electromyography will help you measure and optimize their muscle activation. Below, I leave you a link with the description to better understand how mDurance works. In this post, you will learn how to evaluate this synergy, what happens when it is altered, and how to improve muscle activation to optimize performance and prevent injuries. The gluteus medius and the adductors are muscles with seemingly opposite functions, but in this movement, they work together to provide pelvic stability and allow for smooth and efficient movement. This is the role that both muscles play in the supporting leg during the exercise. Let's start with the gluteus medius. Its function is to stabilize the pelvis and prevent unwanted movements such as pelvic rotation or tilt. And the adductors. These help control the pelvis transversely, preventing excessive lateral tilts. When activation is optimal, the synergy follows this pattern in the supporting leg. The gluteus medius should activate more than the long adductor and the major adductor. If this synergy is maintained, the exercise is performed efficiently, with minimal unnecessary strain on the hip and lumbar spine. But what happens if the synergy is altered? When the gluteus medius does not activate sufficiently and the long adductor works excessively, different problems can arise. Fatigue and overload in the adductors, which can lead to discomfort or muscle strains. Alteration of the hip and spine mechanics due to excessive internal rotation of the thigh and improper alignment of the pelvis. An increased risk of pain and injuries, especially in the lower back, hip and knee. Let's look at an example of an altered synergy. Notice the image in the graph. The left long adductor activates much more than the left gluteus medius. We have a deficit in the activation of the left gluteus medius and an excess of coactivation of the left long adductor. Now let's compare it with an example of correct synergy. Again, look at the image. The right gluteus medius activates much more than the right long adductor. Now the pelvis remains stable without rotation or tilting. The adductors act secondarily without interfering with the main function of the gluteus medius. Notice now we are going to compare both muscles during an altered synergy and a correct synergy. First, look at the two gluteus medius muscles. The left gluteus medius shows a deficit in activation compared to the right gluteus medius. And in the case of the image of the long adductor, the left long adductor shows an excess of coactivation compared to the right long adductor. How can you improve the gluteus medius long adductor synergy? To avoid compensation and improve muscle activation in this exercise, it is essential to follow these steps. First, measure muscle activation with surface electromyography to analyze in real time which muscles are working more than they should and which have an activation deficit. Second, correct the exercise technique, that is, ensure that the patient maintains a stable pelvis. Avoid trunk rotation or pelvic tilt. Control hip extension by ensuring that the movement does not come from the lumbar spine. Third, strengthen the gluteus medius and improve neuromuscular control to correctly activate the gluteus medius of the supporting leg. It is useful to perform complementary exercises such as glute bridges with a resistance band, external hip rotation exercises like the clamshell, and pelvic control exercises on all fours. Therefore, the bird dog is a highly beneficial exercise for improving lumbo-pelvic stability, but its effectiveness depends on correct muscle activation. The synergy between the gluteus medius and the adductor longus plays a fundamental role in pelvic stability, and movement efficiency. Knowing and measuring this synergy with electromyography allows you to optimize the activation of the gluteus medius and avoid compensations. Reduce overload on the adductors, preventing discomfort or injuries. Improve hip mechanics and pelvic stability. See you in the next post.